Hello and welcome to another episode here on my channel. My name is Chaosmol, and today the Lost Ark Twitter account tweeted 2 teaser gifs to prepare you for what is to come. And in this case, it is the first 8-man Abyss dungeon raid, and then it is also a new storyline. So let's have a look at the teasers and what they actually mean. This is the first teaser they have been posting. And you might wondering, yeah, what is that, a deer? Why is there a deer? Why is this a big thing? This good deer, by the way, is Argos. I never know how to pronounce it. We will see if they actually not changed the name of it. But this is considered the first real deal. This is an 8-man raid. So this is not your usual 4-man Abyss dungeon or your Guardian raid. This is like the first Void raid. I'm not 100% sure what they will call it in the Western version of the game, because as we all know, Amazon likes to change certain names. So we will see how that goes. But this is the first 8-man raid. And this is a very important raid because this raid is basically considered to be the gatekeeper for the Legion commanders, right? As we know, the Legion commanders are coming a little bit later, and they are then the real 8-man endgame content. But if you want to get into the Legion commander raids, you have to farm this dude. Right, you have to farm this deer because it gives you all the equipment upgrades and the equipment you actually need to then die a lot at the Legion commanders. And you need, of course, tier 3 equipment, and we will see how that goes, because here's the thing: to get to the point where you can actually try Argos, you have to put a lot of work into your character. And there are still a lot of people who don't know yet if they want to re-roll their character. They wait for the other classes to come out. So they are not 100% happy that this is coming so soon, and they are hoping that at least with the patch they are also getting the rest of the missing classes, because we are missing quite a bit of classes still. And even I have to admit that there is a bunch of classes I would love to play, and they're actually my mains I had from the other regions, and I cannot do that here, which kind of sucks. So we will see how this goes, but this will be the first step in really making a decision, like who is your main character, because keeping up with all the other characters to defeat this boss will be tough. Will be really tough. What is interesting, and I have forgotten that a little bit, but thankfully someone tweeted about this, is this one. As you know, this was a catch-up mechanic which was in the release patch notes of Lost Ark, where basically they are allowing you to completely catch up to tier 3 as fast as possible with your characters, and you don't have those failures anymore when you are honing your gear. I'm wondering if they are now activating this. And I just assume they will. Like, they removed this from the patch notes, and they removed this from the patch when the game came out, right? So maybe this is now their way to say, okay, listen, we know we haven't yet all the classes out. We totally know that. So we will give you a catch-up mechanic so that you can easily get to tier 3 when those classes are coming out. And I'm kind of hoping they're doing this. Like, don't get me wrong, I don't have a problem with tough content. I have a problem with farming for sometimes weeks just to get your character up to par again with the other character you have played. Not a huge fan personally about that, but each to their own, I guess. And yeah, we will see if that's coming. Now, the second tweet they have been showing, and let's go back to that very quickly, is they showed a teaser to this one right here. It is this one. And if you are like, what? Is that a new class? Do we get a male assassin maybe? No, this is not a new class. This is Kadan. And Kadan is a story quest you can do. And it has a lot of cinematics, it has a lot of like cool music in it, and again, it's a really, really cool story quest, which has been in the other regions for quite a while. And this is apparently also coming to the West. It's considered as one of the coolest story quests in Lost Ark. So it's finally coming. It's part of the tier 3 content. So this is why we didn't have it, because we have only a small portion of tier 3 right now in the Western version. And yeah, this is apparently now also changing. But again, this is not a new class, this is not a new raid or anything. This is literally just a story arc, which will come apparently with the next patch. And when that is all happening, we have to see the patch notes, of course. But when this is all happening, we are pretty much up to par with South Korea. Like, the only thing which is of course still missing is the Legion raids, right, with against the Legion commanders. That is of course still missing and is a huge and important part for the end game. And then there are a few smaller side things which are still missing, but we are getting closer and closer to being up to par with the South Korean version of the game, which is kind of exciting. I know that some people have already voiced their concern that this is going a little bit too fast. Now they have announced that they will nerf the Guardian raids. And, well, there is a huge discussion going on in the community right now. But in this case, there were also a lot of people who said, hey, why are we getting content so quickly? Like, let us enjoy the content. Here's the thing. The reason, and they have explained this quite often, why they are pushing the content so quickly in the Western version is because they want to have us up to date to the South Korean client, and they will try to basically release new content patches simultaneously with the West. They are not promising you that it will be a day one release as it is in Korea, but they made it sound like as if they're at least aiming to have like a week or 2 week difference whenever there is new content coming out between South Korea and the West. And they have a lot of new content planned for Lost Ark. Like, keep that in mind. The game is not at its end. They didn't release the game in the West and call it a day. They are still in the middle of releasing new content. It's an MMO. So of course it makes sense that they want you to have the two versions up to par, and that we are not always have to work months before we are actually, well, getting new content, right? Nobody really wants that, because it sucks. Because right now everyone is focusing on tier 1, tier 2 and the beginning of tier 3, so we have a lot to do. But the problem is, the moment there is new content in South Korea and we don't have that content to us available, it will feel like kind of shitty, you know? So it makes totally sense that they're pushing for that. And it, again, might be a little bit overwhelming at the beginning here, but I think in like 2 or 3 months, it will feel much, much more natural. With that said, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did and you were on your way out, I would appreciate if you leave a like. If you're new to the channel, you want to see daily gaming news, reaction videos to certain big gaming events and other trailer announcements, and you also want to see tips and tricks for new games, a lot of Lost Ark. We have a lot of Lost Ark content here on the channel, even so much that some people believed I did go full-time Lost Ark, which is not the case, but Lost Ark is still a huge part of my daily routine. So yeah, if you enjoy all of that, I would appreciate if you might consider to subscribe to the channel. It will help me out a great deal. And if you ever want to catch me live, you can do so from Monday to Friday, starting at 9 AM East Coast time, which is 2 PM UK time, and 3 PM Central European time. And you can find me at trovo.live/chaosmonk. You will find the link in the video description. And if you want to stop by and say hi to my community, I wouldn't say no to that. We are playing, of course, Lost Ark and a lot of Elden Ring right now. A lot of Elden Ring, yeah, I have to admit. But again, thank you so much for watching. I will see you next time. Stay safe.